Man, I'm starting to feel like the off-season fun police for Jets fans because exciting players and coaches and pieces that would definitely upgrade the Jets organization and would be fun if the Jets acquired them become available and people send them to me. And today I got 5 messages. DeAndre Hopkins going to be traded. Should the Jets get him? Jets will get him. Let's do it. Okay, well, number one, it makes sense for the Cardinals that they would move off of him. The Cardinals are going to be without their starting quarterback, Kyler Murray, for most likely the majority of the 2023 season. So do they want to have a 30-plus-year-old expensive receiver out there playing with a backup quarterback in another lost season? Or do they start to strip the team for parts, do a down-to-the-studs, just tank job in 2023, and then roll it back in 2024 with Kyler Murray, their new coach, and hopefully a number one pick? That makes sense from Arizona's perspective. Now, should the Jets be suitors? Well, I can't just turn my nose at a player who a couple of years ago was in the consideration of being the best wide receiver in football, and the production he's given in his career with lots of lackluster QB play when he was in Houston is remarkable. It really is. But at the same time, last 2 years, we had injury and a PED suspension. So he's played 9 and 10 games respectively the last 2 years, and his contract would come with a post June 1st trade cap hit of $19 million for 2023 and $14 million for 2024. You have to figure the Cardinals are at least looking for the second round pick that it took to pry away Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So what, a second and a fifth, and then pay him that money? I don't know. For a guy whose production and availability has waned in recent years, I think the Jets have their wide receiver one in Garrett Wilson. And my question immediately with DeAndre Hopkins and Garrett Wilson becomes who's throwing them the ball and who's blocking for that guy. And because you have to shore up those things first. And by the time we do that, how much resources are we going to have left to go ahead and trade and then fit DeAndre Hopkins into our checkbook? I don't know. Now, we did see a move similar to this work out really well for the Jets. The best single season I've ever seen from a Jets wide receiver came from a guy who was over 30, whose team was kind of shopping him and came with some quote-unquote red flags, and that was Brandon Marshall, and he put on an absolute clinic in 2015. Incredible. So we've seen it work, but to me, it reeks a little bit like a John Idzik, Mike Maccagnan, desperate kind of move. I think it would be a move that's way more exciting in the offseason than it is once maybe he's missing games or not. He's going to be our wide receiver too. Look, I think from what I've seen the last 2 years out of Hopkins being going to be 32 by the time we're done paying him this contract, I don't know. I keep talking myself out of really talented and good players coming to the Jets. I get that, especially on offense, but I think the Jets at wide receiver, you have your number one in Garrett Wilson. You got to figure out a way to turn Elijah Moore into a weapon out of the slot. You got to figure it out, whether it's on the coaching, whether it's getting a new quarterback, whether it's getting better pass protection, whether it's just on Elijah Moore himself being more dedicated or whatever has to happen. I can't unsee the half a season of a rookie year where Elijah Moore literally looked like a wide receiver one, and then this year we can't even find him. You got to find a way to turn Elijah Moore into a wide receiver two to Garrett Wilson out of the slot. And then, at your Z, maybe you keep Corey Davis, maybe you have Denzel Mims competing with like a second or third round pick to be the Z. But I don't see DeAndre Hopkins as the solution. It's hard for me to entertain a flashy wide receiver move until I know who the quarterback is and I know that the offensive line is secured. But hey, it'd be fun. Give me a quarterback, give me an offensive line, and we could still make it happen. Sure. D-Hop and Garrett Wilson. Come on. Who's stopping that? I don't think it's in the cards, though. And we'll talk ball soon.